Hey everybody, it's Theresa from Healthy Vibrant You, bringing you your extended angel reading for 2017. So this reading is an overall reading for the year as the angels and the masters gave me the information in the last few days. There's so much going on in the world right now, and we all know that. But the big thing to remember is we're coming out of a 9-year and entering a 1-year, which means that things will go a lot smoother for us individually and collectively. And it also means that a lot more of the power that we have is going to be coming from within. A 1-year means there's a lot less relying on those things outside of us for answers, for power, for leadership, and it's more about coming within to go to the leader within. You'll be feeling, and you probably have been feeling, really called to get involved in your community, get involved in issues that are important to you, because it's no longer fair to rely on your leaders, your officials, those that you've sort of looked to be in charge, to handle everything. It's now our turn to kind of stand up and make the changes at the level we're comfortable making them. And that's kind of where we're at. It's a symbiosis, sort of, a working together, a melding of the smaller micro community with the bigger macro community at this point, because the issues in the smaller communities are actually the issues in the larger communities. So that's what we need to address. Everything is possible this year, so just remember that. There's something to be said for surrounding yourself with people who support your highest vision. So if you're not around people who are supporting the vision that you see for yourself and for the world, then it's time to consciously seek out community that is supportive of your vision and your vision for the world. And kind of stick with those people, because you're really sensitive. So what that means is that you'll pick up the energy of those around you. So if you're around people who are thinking and feeling like you, it'll be easier for you to carry that vibration and hold it and carry it to the world, instead of just sort of feeling, oh yes, all of this, and then being around people who are not seeing all of that and are kind of talking you out of it and saying you should be realistic and all of that. So it's really time to seek out people who are like-minded, who support you with what you want to do and what you vision for the world. We need to get grounded this year. We need to get in touch with our body, be fully in our body. Think about what makes us happy, what makes us tick, what kind of food really fuels us in the way that we need to be fueled. If you're eating something that makes you feel really sluggish and tired or sad, why are you continuing to eat that? What would have the opposite effect and make you feel healthy and alive and vibrant? That's the kinds of things that you need to think about this year, surrounding yourself with scents, with flowers, with nature, whatever it is that brings you into a space of being happy, being and feeling more whole and like a complete person. That's what this year is about. We are here to anchor love, light, and peace. And so when we do that is really when we are full of peace inside, when we're in a state of balance, a state of peace, a state of happiness. It's much easier to bring that to the world around us. So I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Oh, one question I've been getting a lot is, how do we know guidance is coming from the angels as opposed to somewhere else? So one thing that you can look to when you are feeling intuitive guidance, or you think that you're hearing guidance, is, does this guidance make me feel centered? Does it make me feel good? Does it make me feel at peace? And if the answer to those things is yes, then it's guidance coming from a benevolent source. It's coming from your guides, your angels, the deity of your choice. It's coming from your highest level or capacity to connect with good. If it's not making you feel calm and centered, and you're feeling anxious and upset and agitated, then that guidance is not something you want to listen to. And if you're not quite sure, just don't do anything. Leave the guidance alone, and it will come back to you again and again if it is for your highest good, from your angels, from your guides, from your highest source. So that's how you'll know. It will come back. You don't have to worry that you're going to miss your guidance. It will always come back, and it will always feel good if it's something that's good for you. So I just wanted to take the time to address that concern. It's time for us to clean our energies and thoughts. You may notice already that you're having a fleeting thought and it manifests. Like the other day, I was thinking, oh, I'd love to go see these friends and maybe we could order in some Greek food. And then all of a sudden, I get a phone call. These friends are inviting us over and they're going to order food from my favorite Greek restaurant. So it's just those simple kind of things and those really fun things where the universe is showing us, hey, you're doing this, you're manifesting this. And you know what? If you can manifest your favorite food from your Greek restaurant of choice, then imagine what is possible for you in the grander scheme of things. So just start to pay attention to those seeming coincidences because they're really not. It's you manifesting. So I just took some notes. That's what you're seeing because I had done a whole reading. The angels did a whole card spread and I wanted to make sure I covered everything for you. So as a population, we haven't really been valuing the gift of insight that we've had. Some of us are following our insight and guidance. Some of us aren't. 2017 is time for that change. The angels are reminding us that we can really easily seek answers and guidance for anything by looking within or by asking them for guidance and help. So we don't anymore need to ask 15 people on the outside and get 15 different answers and feel more confused, more ungrounded, more like we're in a whirlwind. We can go within and be directed to that one person who's going to give us benevolent guidance or just receive it straight from the angels, from our guides straight down. So just so you know, use your tools. You've all done your homework of prayer, meditation. You know all kinds of different spiritual practices. You know practices to get yourself centered. Use them. That this is the time. It's also a time of connecting and seeing global community. How can I give to others? How can I assist? How can I help my fellow human even though they're completely across the world? This is the time to be examining those things and know that every dollar you spend is a way to affect change throughout the world. Self-belief is key in these moments. There's so much input from the outside telling us that things aren't possible, that things are not real, that hope is dead. That's not true. Self-belief is key. Go within. Everything you need is in there and surround yourself with people who see that in you and themselves. That way it's easier to believe in yourself when you are surrounded with others who are able to believe in themselves and who are able to believe in you and hold the vision of possibility together. Because more than one person together really helps to hold that vision. You know that if you're in a room by yourself, it's sort of easy to lose that momentum sometimes. Archangel Michael wants us to look at ourselves and admit the truth of our situations and then take action. So I'm not sure why my light is going in and out. So anyway, so he's really urging us to look for the truth within. What is true for you in these moments? It doesn't matter what society is telling you. It doesn't matter what family is telling you. What is true for you in your heart? Go in there and find it and take actions from that step. And I'm not talking about giant actions like quit your job today because something is true. I mean, that may be the action you want to take, but that's not necessarily the action I'm recommending. It sort of is like take those actions to move in that direction. Don't be afraid to see and experience things the way they really are and not the way people are telling you they are, because you feel the way things really are and then people will tell you otherwise. So stick to your gut. You know what's going on. You know how you feel. Always listen to your intuition before you listen to anyone else. Don't be afraid to share the truth of what you see going on in the world from your perspective, because that's how other people can see it with you or disagree with you, and you can sort of hear both sides and come to agreement on where to meet. And those conversations are so important, especially this year. Really keeping an open mind, keeping open conversation, keeping dialogue happening, even with people you completely disagree with, is important because we need to find a middle ground and we need to come together and act from that place. This is the year to be with your purpose. To make this world better is your purpose. You're watching this video because you've committed to that. to anchor peace, to anchor light, to shine love, to radiate truth, to be a stand for justice. Whatever your purpose is, this is your year. So how can you do that? Not why I can't anymore, those lists we've been doing for many, many years. It's a year of how can I get this done? So as you strive to balance your life in 2017, you need to strive for energetic cleanliness. We all do. Cleanliness of thought, cleanliness of action, cleanliness in deed. So taking action and thoughts, like if your thoughts are all over the place and you're thinking not so great things, just stopping, taking control of that, taking a breath and starting over. Super important. There's a continuous flow of guidance coming. And so as clean as you can keep your energetic system, as clean as you can keep your thoughts, that's the level of access that you will have to those guidance points. You are infinitely able to access them. You may feel differently in your communications this year, either like you're having really deep communications with only a few words, almost like you're understanding people and they're understanding you without having to say anything. But you may also feel with certain people like you're both butting up against a brick wall and almost like you're speaking two completely different languages. So those two things are going to happen a lot this year. And just be patient, breathe through it, and admit when you're not meeting. You know, it's okay to just say, look, I'm not really understanding what you're saying. Maybe we can come back to this at another point, and then ask for guidance. It may just be that it's time to move in a different direction from those people that you're not understanding, and it may be time for them to move in a different direction from you. It's okay, because what will happen is you'll create the space for those other people we were talking about who understand you, who energetically support you, who love you, who get your vision to come into your life if they're not there already. As you strive for growth and balance and alignment this year, there'll be so much more love in your life. There'll be so much more peace in your life. You'll become better able to receive and also to anchor it. So once you receive the love, anchor it, and then open to sending it out. If we're not open to receiving, we can't give. And that's just universal law. This is a real big year of focusing on the self. What makes you tick? And I'm not talking just being selfish. I'm talking about getting in touch with where you're at, what makes you happy, what makes you tick, what you need, so that you can be in balance, so that you can be as whole as you need to be to do the work that you're here to do. Don't override red flags anymore. We all do that. We see the red flag. It's big, it's bright, and we just convince ourselves that it's not there. We feel it. You know, you meet that person and you're like, ooh, this isn't someone I want to be around for whatever reason. But you say, oh, that's not fair. I'm not giving them a chance. And you convince yourself that this is a person you need to be around because it's the nice thing to do. And then all of a sudden it's a year down the road and you're in complete misery. So don't override those red flags anymore. Pay attention to the energy in relationships, the personal energy, the community energy, because when you can see those red flags where they are, it helps you to bring a leadership quality into these places, into your relationships, into your community. Honor the ability that you have to see a red flag from so far away. These are important indicators. It's time to trust your intuition. It's time for all of us to trust our intuition. And like I said, play with it with small things first. Which apples should I buy? Do I want bananas or peaches? You know, am I feeling meat or vegetables tonight? Just really listen in to your intuition and get acquainted with it if it's not something you are used to. If you're not sure what the next right action looks like, ask your angels, ask your guides. They're always there for you. They just need to be asked. If you're not sure about it and want some support, leave a comment on this video, and we'd be happy to support you. You'll receive your guidance, and it will lead you to the next right place over and over and over again throughout this year. So just to recap, this year is all about going within and finding that strength and building from there so that what's outside of you doesn't affect you in the same way that it used to and throw you off balance. It's really about finding that balance within. So that's your angel reading for 2017 on a global level. If you would like your own personal reading, just click the link below and you can schedule your own personal reading.